If you've ever felt like life should be easier for you, but somehow feels harder instead, here's a psychology truth you're probably not ready for. High intelligence doesn't protect you from struggle. It creates new ones. And science has been quietly documenting this for decades. Most people believe intelligence is a shield. You think faster, learn quicker, solve problems easily, so success should be automatic. But psychologists noticed something strange. People with very high IQs often report more anxiety, more mental fatigue, and more internal conflict than average, not less. The same mind that gives insight also magnifies pressure. 1. Your brain never switches off. Your brain doesn't slow down the way other brains do. It stays active. Psychologists describe this as a hyperbrain or intellectual overexcitability. In large studies of people with very high IQs, researchers found something consistent. Their nervous systems were more reactive. Their minds didn't switch off easily. Thoughts stayed loud. Awareness stayed high. And over time, that constant activation became exhausting. 2. You think too much about everything. Every option branches into 10 possibilities. Every decision becomes analysis. Every conversation replays in your head. What did they mean by that? What should I have said? What happens next? This isn't indecision. Psychologist Kazimierz Dabrowski called this intellectual overexcitability, a mind driven to question, to analyze, to theorize, without an off switch. It's not about being smart, it's about intensity. And intensity without control creates internal friction. Boredom hits you harder than most people. Most people say, I just need to relax. But that's the biggest mistake, because relaxation doesn't fix a mind that was never taught how to slow itself. When life becomes repetitive, your brain reacts strongly. School feels slow, work feels shallow, small talk feels unbearable. Your mind needs complexity to stay alive. When stimulation drops, frustration turns into detachment, and detachment gets mistaken for arrogance. You feel lonely even around people. But here's where it gets worse. That detachment doesn't stay external. It turns inward. You can be surrounded by people, laughing, talking, socializing, and still feel alone, because your thoughts operate at a different depth. You want meaning, patterns, systems, possibilities. Most conversations never reach that level. Psychologists noticed this early on. Highly gifted individuals often experience a communication gap, not because they dislike people, but because they rarely find true intellectual peers. So you start editing yourself. Shorter sentences, simpler thoughts, less honesty, until silence feels safer than being misunderstood. And that's when people misjudge you. They think you're cold, distant, arrogant, but what they're really seeing is clarity without translation. You question assumptions, spot flaws quickly, skip emotional rituals that feel unnecessary. To others, that feels threatening. So you start wondering if something is wrong with you. Here's the truth. You're not difficult. You're operating outside the normal communication range.
Number 6. Motivation doesn't work the way it should.
Here's the paradox. You're capable of more than most people, yet starting feels impossible. Deadlines don't move you. Pressure doesn't push you. Fear doesn't drive you. Because intelligent minds don't respond to force. They respond to meaning. If something feels pointless, your brain resists it. This isn't laziness. It's resistance without purpose.
You question life earlier than others.
You start questioning things early. Meaning, freedom, time, death. Questions most people avoid become unavoidable for you. Psychologists call this existential depression in gifted individuals. Not sadness, but disillusionment, because you can clearly imagine what life could be and see how far reality falls short. Awareness comes early. Without grounding, it turns into anxiety.
Your emotions feel too deep to handle.
Your emotions don't get simpler as intelligence increases. They get layered. You don't just feel emotions. You analyze them while experiencing them. You notice patterns, triggers, contradictions. Even happiness feels complex. Even sadness feels structured. This depth can be powerful, but without regulation, it becomes exhausting. Your mind never fully rests.
Paralysis by potential.
You hear it constantly. You're so smart. You could do anything. You're wasting your potential. But no one tells you how. Psychologists call this multipotentiality, the ability to succeed in many different paths, which sounds like a gift until every choice feels like losing 10 others. Every decision feels permanent. That pressure turns intelligence into a burden. Instead of freedom, you feel expectation, and the fear of choosing wrong becomes so heavy that you choose nothing at all. Here's the final truth. High intelligence doesn't guarantee happiness. It amplifies whatever environment, habits, and mental frameworks you place it in. Without structure, it turns inward. Without guidance, it becomes chaotic. But with the right systems, it becomes focused, directed, powerful. If you recognized yourself in this video, there's nothing broken about you. These struggles aren't flaws. They're side effects of a powerful mind without a manual. And now, at least, you finally know why.